Good afternoon, everybody. It is now Thursday, December 2nd. December 2nd of 2021. Looking at the calendar, I find it absolutely stunning that here we are almost done with the year 2021. I don't know about you guys, but 2020 and 2021 is kind of all blurred together, and it has me looking very, very forward to 2022. And through that lens, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about fear. And not just the fear that's kind of pervaded the financial markets sort of off and off in the last week or so since Omicron variant was identified in South Africa, and of course now we've got a case in the United States, but just fear in general. So this is going to be a little different than some of the other video messages that I've done over the last several months. I'm not a big guy for New Year's resolutions. I'm not somebody that necessarily puts pen to paper on December 31st, comes up with these grand plans of things that I'm going to do the following year, and then is really fantastic for the first week of January, and then you fall back into old routines. I just don't think that that's it's not necessarily productive in the sense because there's no staying power to it. But I think this year might be a little bit different because we've come through 2020, which everything came out of left field with COVID and everything. We came through 2021 where we're kind of expecting things to normalize a little bit. In some ways it has, in a lot of ways it hasn't, but here we are now going into 2022. And with this in mind, I just really have been giving a lot of thought to all the people that they're out there that might be stuck and might be feeling a little bit stuck in terms of what the last year or two has brought them, what they feel like they might have missed out on in the last year or two, what it is they want to do in 2022, and they don't know if the situation globally with COVID, travel restrictions, no travel restrictions. I mean, the bottom line is we don't know what this is all going to look like. And so I've got a proposal for everybody. I'm just going to put it out there because I want to put something good out into the ether. Collectively, let's all, anybody that's listening to this, let's make a decision in 2022 to get rid of one thing. Forget about what it is we're going to do. Let's talk about what we're going to get rid of. We are going to get rid of being afraid of these big things that we can't control. Watching the news, it's clickbait. It's one of the reasons I'm off companies on Facebook. I'm personally off Facebook. But everything's designed to terrify you. Everything's designed to get that adrenaline pumped up. Everything is designed to stop you in your tracks so that your eyes get glued onto whatever that person on TV is telling you, whatever news is coming out. And let's just resolve this year to kind of stop doing that. Now, as things progress in the markets in the next year and a half, something big happens, I'm definitely going to talk about it. But I'm going to try to talk about it in a way that sort of unpacks and unbundles what it is we're dealing with without the idea of terrifying you. So let me ask you this. Here's the question I'm going to put to you. If you were not afraid of the future, if you were not afraid of financial setbacks, if you were not afraid of setbacks in your own life, what is it you would do in 2022? What would be the goal in 2022? So I'm gonna put out a challenge there to anybody that wants to take this and listen to it. We've got about a month left, a little less than a month now in this year in 2021 before the calendar turns. And here's what I've been doing. I started this yesterday. Every day for the next month until December 31st, what I'm doing is I'm writing down anything that comes to mind, 10 or 15 things that I think I want to do in 2022. And they can be very different because some days you're in a mood to do one thing, tide changes, the next day you're interested in something else. But what I've found when I've kind of gone through this exercise in the past is that there tends to be recurring themes. There tends to be things that are important to you. And what this also does, it kind of gets you into a moment where you get very present. Take a real hard look in terms of where your life is and where you want it to go. And if there's things on this list that you haven't been able to achieve yet, or you haven't even tried to achieve yet, then the next question is why? Why haven't you made the effort to do that? Why haven't you at least tried to go down that road? Maybe it's a timing issue. I mean, perhaps if you're getting married or something like that, you just didn't meet the right person. If there's a business endeavor, sometimes you got to wait for these things in the tumbler to fall into place, and I get that. But let's all collectively make a decision, anybody listening to this, that for 2022, we're just going to go for it. We're going to jettison any fears that may be holding us back, personally for sure. And we're just going to just unblock that stuff. And it doesn't mean everything on the list that you might put together here in the next month is going to get achieved. Far from it, because part of the great thing with big goals or even small goals is that you got to become the right person in order for those goals to succeed. So it becomes more of sort of a daily habit type thing as opposed to just these big giant goals that are somewhere off into the future. You've got to become the person that's worthy of achieving those goals. So I know I'm kind of rambling on a little bit. I'm going to cut this off. But for now, 2022 is different, I know, than my other recordings that I've done. Fear. Get rid of it. We're going to talk about not what it is we're going to do. It's going to be what we're going to drop, and we're going to drop this nameless fear, fear of the things that we can't control, fear that's being pumped into your television every single day. All the fears that you may have that are holding you back, recognize them, see what you need to learn from that, because I do think that we've got these senses for a reason. You might have some fears for a reason, but look at it passively and sort of independently of yourself and say, hey, is this justified or not? It's not justified, let it go. Let it go. In 2022, this is the year that we're going to rock. This is the year. Stop listening to people that tell you what you can't do. Stop listening to people whose sole job is to get your eyes and try to terrify you, and start doing the things that you want to do. In some cases, there's been really good reasons why we've given up some of the time in the last couple years, but I'll tell you what, 2022, let's not give any of our time and energy up to anything that's not worthy of our time on this planet. So if you got something you want to do, go for it. Different than the other videos I've done, if it resonated with you, please let me know. For those of you that have been watching these, I really appreciate it. I've had you for 6 minutes. Hope you found it valuable. In the meantime, till the next message, take care, and let's finish out 2021 fantastically, and let's absolutely rock it in 2022. Take care, everyone.